Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of the recipes from the Unofficial Disney Parks Cookbook. Today we are going to be making 2 recipes, and the first one is Mr. Kamal's seasoned fries, and it is found in Asia in Disney's Animal Kingdom. And the second one is Cheeseburger spring rolls found in Adventureland in the Magic Kingdom. Starting off with the seasoned fries, you will need the following ingredients: 4 cups of vegetable oil for frying, 5 large russet potatoes peeled and cut into fries, which I already did earlier while I was prepping all of this, so they're a little bit discolored, and I couldn't really get them into fry shapes. So, just a little side note. You'll need 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, 1/4 cup of salt, 3 tablespoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt, and that will all go into one large bowl because you will shake the fries in the seasoning after they're done frying. And then you will make a sauce with 2 tablespoons of sriracha, 3 tablespoons of honey, and a 1/2 cup of ketchup. And then it also calls for 1/4 cup of tzatziki sauce, which you can sprinkle on top. I don't think half of the family here is going to like that, so I opted not to buy that and not to put that on the fries. So on the stove, I have the 4 cups of vegetable oil heating up for the fries. That needs to come to 375 degrees. And in the meantime, it says to preheat your oven to 200 degrees and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. So I did that as well. While the oil is heating up, I am going to go over the ingredients for the cheeseburger spring rolls. And you will need 1 tablespoon plus 2 cups of vegetable oil divided. The 1 tablespoon to saute the onions and garlic, and the 2 cups to actually fry the spring rolls. And then a 1/2 medium yellow onion peeled and diced, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, 1 pound of ground beef, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1 tablespoon of yellow mustard, which I did not put in the meat mixture just because most of the family doesn't like mustard. And then 1 tablespoon of ketchup, 10 tablespoons of shredded cheese, 10 egg roll wrappers, and 1 large egg beaten. So first you're going to heat the oil in your pan for 30 seconds and then add your onion and your garlic and saute those for 2 minutes. After that, you will add your ground meat, your salt, and your pepper and cook those until the meat is no longer pink for about 5 minutes. So I already did that. And then you add the 1 tablespoon of ketchup and mustard if you're choosing to do that. And then you're going to let it sit for 10 minutes so it cools down. So that is already done. The oil has risen to 375 degrees. So now I'm going to add some of the potatoes into the hot oil. It says to work in batches, and it says to let them fry for about 5 minutes. Remove them onto a plate lined with paper towels and let them rest 3 minutes. And then transfer onto the baking sheet and into the preheated oven. While the fries are cooking, I am going to get started on making our cheeseburger spring rolls. I have never done this before. I'm a little intimidated by this, kind of like how I was with the cheeseburger pods. If you guys haven't seen part 2 of this series, you might want to check that one out. I make the cheeseburger steamed pods, which were really good, but I was super nervous to make them. So I'm a little bit nervous this time as well. So I'm just going to follow the instructions. It says lay 1 egg roll wrapper with a point facing toward you. Spoon 2 tablespoons of the beef mixture onto middle of the wrapper. Okay. And 1 tablespoon of cheese onto the meat. Okay. Brush egg onto the opposite 2 sides of the wrapper. So these 2? Like these 2, I guess. Okay. side. This one. Roll up like a burrito, making sure all filling is sealed inside. These first. I don't know if I did that right. Hopefully. Maybe I should do this one in first. Then this one. Then this one.
Yeah, that's a burrito. Right?
Yep. Okay. I think that one was better. Okay. Have been cooking for 5 minutes, so I'm going to remove them onto the paper towel. I transferred the first batch of fries onto the parchment paper, and I'm going to put it in the oven to keep them warm. Now we are ready to fry up the cheeseburger spring rolls. It says to bring the oil to 350 degrees and then place 4 of them in the pot at one time. And it says to let them fry for 2 minutes per side. I am going to use the same pot that I used for the fries just so that I can do double batches, because I have another pan over there, but that pan's a little bit smaller, so I don't know if it's going to hold 4, so I'm actually just going to use both. Technical difficulties, these don't flip. There's like air bubbles that were created on the opposite side, and so they just keep rolling back to the other side. So I'm gonna try to hold it on the non-cooked side. See if I can get that kind of cooked. going to toss the fries in the seasonings. Next, I am going to make the ketchup sriracha honey sauce to dip the fries in. I'm not really going to measure it, I'm just gonna eyeball it. Half cup ketchup. It does say 2 tablespoons of sriracha, but since it's pretty spicy, I'm not gonna use all of it. Maybe like 1 instead. And 3 tablespoons of honey. I have Ronan here with me.
Hello.
And we are going to do a little taste test of the fries in the sauce. Let's do a little bit though. Ready? Cheers. Oh, a little. It's a little spicy.
I need water.
Okay. Ronan probably is not going to have the dipping sauce, but I do think that Josh is really going to like it because he likes spicy stuff. But I also wanted to share something that I found at Walmart. It is the Hidden Valley Ranch Secret Sauce. Cool and tangy.
No.
Never tried this before, but I was going to dip my fries and maybe my spring rolls in this. So this is dinner. So we have our seasoned fries and we have our cheeseburger spring rolls. And
they're really good.
They're good, huh? So here we have dinner. We have our seasoned fries, our cheeseburger spring rolls. I served it with a pickle and some red grapes. Tonight we are going to be making 2 different recipes, and the first one is a dinner side dish. It is baked lobster mac and cheese found in Discovery Island, Disney's Animal Kingdom. And the next one is one of my favorites, which I have had in Disneyland. It is the gray stuffed Gateau found in Fantasyland inside Disneyland. I actually had it for the first time a couple years ago when we went to Disneyland. And it is just, it's so good. So I'm excited to make it at home to see how it compares to the one inside the Disneyland park. Most of you guys probably know what the gray stuff is from the Beauty and the Beast film when Belle is served the gray stuff. That tastes delicious. I could sing the whole song, but I'm a very bad singer, so I'll spare you guys on that one. So to get started, we are actually going to start off with the gray stuff, the dessert first. That way we can let part of it cool. I actually did pre-make the red velvet mini cupcakes, which I overfilled them a little bit, as you can see. But that's fine because it does say you can cut off some of the parts too. So that'll be good. So I will go over the red velvet cupcake part first. You just need a box of whatever red velvet cake mix that you like the best. And then you also need a mini muffin tin or cupcake tin, which we have right here. So you'll make the red velvet cake according to the box, put it in the muffin tins, put it in the oven, and then it says let it cool for at least an hour. So that's why I already pre-made these off camera. Next, I'm going to make the shortbread cookies for the gray stuff dessert. First, you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees and then get a baking pan and line it with parchment paper like I already did there. Then you are going to need a stand mixer. Add 1 cup of salted butter that's been softened. Add that to your mixer. With the butter, add 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. and then cream those two ingredients together. To this, you will add 2 cups of flour, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and mix those until the dough is sticky. It says about 2 minutes. Sprinkle 1 tablespoon of sugar on a flat surface, place the dough ball on it, and then it says to sprinkle the top with the other tablespoon of sugar. All right. Next, it says to roll out the dough into 1/4 inch thickness. It's all crumbly. Next, it says you can use a biscuit cutter or a drinking glass to cut out circles. It says it's going to make 12 cookies, so I might have to cut out as much as I can and then re-roll it. Next, you're going to put these in the oven for 12 minutes until they are slightly golden brown. Next, I am going to get started on the gray stuff, the actual gray stuff. And you are going to start off with a large bowl, add 1.5 cups of milk. And then next, you're going to need 3.4 ounce box of instant vanilla pudding. So add that to the milk and get it whisked together. And now put it in the refrigerator to chill for 10 minutes. Next, we're going to get started on the baked lobster mac and cheese. First thing you're going to do is get a 9x13 baking dish and spray it with nonstick cooking spray. In a medium saucepan, you're going to add 3 tablespoons of cold salted butter and 1/4 cup of flour. And take 2 cups of milk, pour it into a microwave safe bowl, and microwave on high for 2 minutes. And you're going to want to whisk your butter and your flour for 2 minutes. Once your milk is done microwaving, you are going to slowly whisk it into the flour and butter. To this mixture, you are going to add 3 cups of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. Next, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. That might have been a little extra. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. 1 teaspoon of salt. To the cheese mixture, you are going to add 8 ounces of cooked elbow macaroni noodles. I had a 16-ounce box, so I just guessed what 8 ounces was. So I might have made too much. So I'm not going to pour the whole thing in yet. Next, you need to stir in a 1/2 cup of shredded pre-cooked lobster meat. This is the one I happened to get at the store. I found this at Fry's, and it came with 2 frozen packages of pre-cooked lobster meat. it looks like it came out with pretty much almost a cup. The recipe only calls for half a cup, but I didn't want it to go to waste, so I'm going to add the entire thing in here. Now you are going to spoon your mac and cheese into your dish. Now you're going to pop this in the broiler until the cheese is nice and melted and toasted, and it says it takes about 8 minutes. This has been chilling for 10 minutes, and now we're going to add 8 ounces of thawed Cool Whip. And you need 12 chocolate sandwich cookies crushed. So I just used Oreos. I just put them in a bag and crushed them with a meat tenderizer. It says to put them in a blender or food processor, but this was easier, so I did this. Now I'm going to assemble it all together. It does say that the gray stuff, you need a piping bag with like a star tip or, yeah, like a medium or large star tip. I actually don't have one, so I'm just going to use the good old Ziploc bag style and just cut the tip off. It's not going to be a cool design like the one from Disneyland, but we're going to just make it work with what we have. And my mixture didn't turn out as gray as the one from Disneyland, so they must add a little trick in there, a little food coloring or something. I got that added to the bag. Okay, so it says lay out the shortbread cookie. Place 1 red velvet mini cupcake upside down onto each cookie. It says you can trim a tiny bit of the bump if you need to, so it lays flat, but this one's pretty flat. So I'm gonna lay that down. Then you're going to take a fresh raspberry, point side up, place that on top of the cupcake. Now you're going to pipe the gray stuff beginning at the base of the cupcake and swirl up over the raspberry and end at the top. So this is it, you guys, the gray stuff. All right, the mac and cheese is done and it looks so good. It smells so good. Let's see how cheesy it is. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this Disney series. If you guys missed part 1 and 2, I will link it in the description box down below so that you guys can check those out. This is going to be the last and final part of the Disney series. I plan to continue to share the recipes in upcoming videos when I do vlogs, maybe cook and clean with me. There's not as much dinner or food recipes in the book that we haven't tried yet. There's just a lot of desserts or breakfast or drinks. So I'm going to just incorporate those in future videos rather than making one video dedicated to that. So stay tuned for those future videos coming very soon. I have had so much fun making these recipes and branching out of my comfort zone when it comes to making or baking food. I kind of get intimidated if I look through a cookbook and there's a lot of recipes that I haven't tried or new kitchen gadgets that I don't have. I usually stray away from those. But this book really brought me out of my comfort zone. I love all things Disney, and I miss Disneyland and miss going to the parks and having the yummy food and just enjoying that time. So this kind of brought Disney to our house while we're in our quarantine, and it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had just as much fun watching me cook these recipes, and I hope that you guys are trying them at home. If you are, please let me know which one has been your favorite so far. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.